Hello everyone and welcome in our YouTube channel here in MamaBro. As you can see, we are going step by step to discuss about the essential tips and useful advices about parent consulting. Today we are going to talk about the importance of healthy foods and healthy recipes for your babies. The food is very important in your baby's life, so today we are going to talk exactly for the first solid foods in your baby's life. Today, exactly, we are going to talk about the food for the babies from 4 to 6 months. What are the first best foods for your babies? In this lesson, we are discuss good recipes, purée recipes for your babies during 4 to 6 months. Just follow my lesson for today. Let us continue with the lesson for today about the first purees for your babies till 4 to 6 months of the year. For the first 6 months of the baby's life, breast milk was all she needed to grow and be healthy. Now, about 6 months old, she or he is likely ready to eat solid foods. Breast milk is still the most important food, but you can now add solid foods during her or his feedings. Solid foods will provide nutrition, flavors, and textures. These are all important for your baby overall growth and development. It is important to start with solid foods containing high amount of iron first. Your baby uses iron for growth and development, especially for his or her brain and red blood cells. Your baby is born with iron stored in her or his body, but your baby uses this iron up by 4 to 6 months of age. Feeding her iron-rich foods will continue to give your baby the iron that they need. Some babies may need to start earlier solid foods than 6 months old. For example, all the babies or for a child at high risk for allergy. If your baby has a parent or sibling, brother or sister with an allergic conditions, your baby may be at high risk to be allergic. You may need to introduce solids as early as 4 months old. For premature babies who are born early, premature babies may be able to start solid earlier than 6 months corrected age. It is important that you consider her corrected age and development when starting her on baby's food. For more information about when to start your baby on solid foods, talk to your doctor or dietitian urgently. It is important to start with solid foods containing high amount of iron first. Your baby uses iron for growth and development, especially for her brain and red blood cells. Your baby is born with iron stored in her body, but she uses this iron up by 4 to 6 months of age. Make homemade baby food. It is very important to cook for your baby because it is much more healthy than other types of food. You don't have to be a master in the kitchen to make your own baby food. While convenient, commercial baby foods may lose vitamins and nutrition during processing, as well as the germinates that can make your baby excited to try new foods and combinations. These 21 simple recipes are fast, inexpressible, and best of all, could be more nutritious than foods that have been sitting on a grocery store shelf. If your baby is ready for solid foods, you can read in the American Academy of Pediatrics publications recommendations waiting until 6 months to start adding in solid foods. But some people start as soon as 4 months, as long as certain developmental stages have been reached. According to 2013 study, babies who started earlier some types of solid foods by 6 months old had a reduced risk of allergies and asthma. A few things that you need to do or to keep in mind before you start to use solid foods for your baby are a few things to keep in mind when thinking about baby food. New eaters only need about 1 to 2 tablespoons for food. It is very important you to use a small portions in the first week of the solid foods for your baby. So, keep small portions. Be on the lookout for allergies, especially when feeding your babies that contain common allergens. Common allergens include eggs, peanut, wheat, soy, fish, and shellfish. The newest evidence shows there is no benefit in delaying introducing these foods beyond 6 months or to introducing foods in any particular order. Most of all, don't forget to have fun with your baby. It is very important. Some people prefer to go in organic, wild, pastured, and grass-fed whenever possible. Some foods may be higher in pesticide residue, including apples, peaches, snap pea, potatoes, nectarines, strawberries, grapes, celery, Spanish, sweet bell peppers, cucumber, cherry tomatoes. Sometimes they are with more pesticides. So be careful when you choose to use these types of vegetables. Start the puree food from 4 to 6 months old. When your baby is 4 to 6 months old, you will want to use simple single ingredients purees. This can help you to spot and identify a food allergy or sensitivity. Once you have proven your child's tolerance to individual foods, you can try combinations to enhance flavor or likability. Avocado is the best vegetable for your baby, and banana too. This is a pairing of 2 wonderful foods for your baby. Good fat and fiber, and bananas, potassium and vitamin C. The banana also adds a bit of sweetness and lightens up the usually dense avocado puree. Knead the sugar and stick with the natural sweeties and the ingredients themselves for young babies. For this recipe, ingredients you need to use are 2 ripe avocados, 2 ripe banana, 2 or 3 teaspoons pineapple or lemon juice or apple cider vinegar to keep puree from turning brown. And the steps that you need for instructions to prepare this recipe for your baby are: Step 1. Cut avocados in half, remove pit and scrape out with a spoon. Step 2. Peel bananas. Step 3. Place all ingredients in a medium bowl, blender, food processor and blend till smooth. Step 4. You may also use a food strainer to remove all the lumps if your child needs a texture-free puree. Step 4. Pour puree into individual serving containers. You may refrigerate for up to 4 days or freeze containers and thaw one at a time in refrigerator as needed. Pea puree. Pea is a very healthy vegetable for your baby's body and mind. Peas are a small yet mighty source of nutrition, packing vitamins A and C, iron, protein, and calcium. If the skin of the peas makes the texture less appealing for a young child, make sure to strain them to make it as smooth as possible. Ingredients that you need for pea puree are 3 cups frozen peas, 1/2 cup breast milk or formula milk. The steps that you need for the instructions how to prepare these recipes are: place a steamer insert into a saucepan and fill with water to just below the bottom of the steamer. Bring water to a boil, add peas, cover and steam until tender, about 15 minutes. Step 2. Place peas and breast milk in a blender or food processor and puree until creamy. Strain the mixture through a fine mesh sieve to remove any lumps. Step 4. Spread pea mixture into an ice cube tray, cover with plastic wrap and freeze until solid, 2 to 3 hours. Transfer frozen cubes to a reusable plastic bag and store in the freezer. Step 4. To serve, heat cubes to the microwave for about 30 seconds until warm but not hot. Another recipe, very healthy recipes for your baby, is brown rice cereal. Ingredients for this recipe are 1/2 cup of brown rice and 4 cups of water. You will need some form of a food processor or blender that has a milling blend. I have the baby bullet and it works great. Add the uncooked brown rice to the food processor and mill to a fine powder. Add the milled brown rice and 4 cups of water to pot and cover until it boils. Then turn the heat to low and cook with the cover for 20 minutes. Check the consistency of the brown rice cereal and add water if you want it to be thinner. Once the cereal is the consistently most appropriate for your infant's age, pour it into storage cups and freeze or refrigerator. You can refrigerator for up to 2 till 3 days or freeze for 30 days. I love these silicone freezer storage tricks because they allow me to easily pot up an entire cube of cereal to heat up and serve or thaw. Overall, it was much similar than I accepted, and the best part is that this recipe makes such a large batch. This also so much less expensive to make baby food rather than purchase it even when I'm buying organic ingredients. Carrot and apple puree. They are best of the best. This recipe is very useful, easily to cook and very healthy. The ingredients that you need for this recipe are 1 large carrot peeled and chopped, 1 small potato peeled and chopped, 1 small apple peeled, cored and chopped, low salt vegetable stock or water. Preparation. Place the carrot, potato and apple cubes into a saucepan and cover with stock or water. Bring to boil, then simmer for about 10 minutes until tender. Drain, then blend to a smooth consistency in the pan using your brown multi-cook hand processor. You can use only avocado puree. Avocado is very healthy and easy cooked veggie. If your baby starts to eat it, she or he will start to eat a variety of fruits and veggies. Sweet potato, butternut, squishy, sushi, carrot, Fuji apples, plum, pears, bananas, green beans, peas, spinach, broccoli, pumpkin, apricot, and after that your baby will start to eat oatmeal and organic wholemeal plain yogurt. In this way, your baby will turn into a wonderful eater. 1/2 of an avocado has only 50 calories but 20 vitamins and minerals. Avocados also contain folate, fiber, potassium, vitamin E, iron, healthy fats that help with brain and nervous system development. Just mashed up the avocado raw and fed it directly to her mixed with a little bit of breast milk. You can also mix it with formula or water to thin it out at first. Baked sweet potato puree. Another important recipe for your babies during 4 till 6 months of the age. Ingredients for this recipe are 2 medium sweet potatoes, and instructions are: preheat the oven to 40 feet or 200 degree, scrub the potatoes and prick with a metal squarer or forks. Place on a baking tray and roast for about 55 minutes or until wrinkled and tender. Removed from the oven, cut the potatoes in half, scoop out and flesh, and puree in a food processor until smooth. You can add a little of your baby's usual milk to thin out the consistency if you wish. You can also use this method to bake potatoes. Potatoes tend to take longer to cook than sweet potatoes, so between 45 minutes and 1 hour. Do not puree ordinary potatoes flesh in a blender, as it will break down the natural starches and produce a strict texture. It's best to puree potato in a baby food grinder or moly, or for slightly older babies, simply mash with a fork. For a quick method, you can microwave the sweet potato, scrub the sweet potato and prick with a fork. Cook in microwave and about half or high for 10 to 12 minutes until soft. Cut the sweet potato in half and scoop out the flesh. Mix with a little breast or formula milk or cooked boiled water to make a smoothie consistency. These are some of the useful recipes when you can proceed to start the solid foods and purees for your babies in the age from 4 to 6 months. In the next lesson, we are going to talk about the solid foods for babies from 7 to 12 months. They need to go away from the puree food and to start to use just solid foods. How can alternate puree food with solid food? Interesting recipes for babies from 7 to 12 months. Thank you for your attention for today, and we will see together in the next lesson.